They've lined the famous 18th hole at Royal Sydney for the playoff to decide the champion at the Emirates Australian Open Championship of 2016. And Ash Hall, the world number 902, is the honour. And they made a draw as they got down there to decide who would go first. And gentlemen, would you always prefer to go first?
I would.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Apply the pressure.
What a huge moment for Ash Hall. He's been there or thereabouts on the web.com tour in the last couple of years, but never anything to this status. And beautifully done, just hugging the left side of the fairway.
That should be far enough around, Dottie, to
yes,
be able to
it is,
get
mate.
there
A
clearly.
clear shot, Finchy, and around
Excellent.
120, 125 metres for a second.
It's a very narrow shoot there. Jordan left it out to the right before. He's got the hybrid again.
I'll tell you one thing, guys, no one's gone home. That much I can tell you. It is 6 and 7 deep around this fairway at the moment, and up at the green. Well, it just looks like one of the greatest things you've ever seen in Australian golf.
And why would you go home?
Excellent.
You would like that in regulation play.
Now Cameron Smith has been finished the longest. A lot of time to think. Tight down the left again. And this time got away with it.
Sometimes you need a break like that.
That was a good break. He was the one that had hit it in there earlier and made bogey. So this is the shoot we talk about. You have to hit it down there about 230 metres to get past the corner to give you a clear shot in from this back tee. And if you do hug the left, it's even longer to get around the corner. But if you leave it out to the right, like Jordan Spieth did in regulation, you're then left with 160 to 180 metres for your second shot to a green that's quite difficult to get it on in this back right section. So all three players in the fairway.
So the young Queenslander made a bogey in regulation play. Ash Hall rolled in a putt that got him into the playoff. Jordan Spieth made 4. There's a bit of a difference in achievements and a bit of a difference in bank balance between those two, but they're equal chances now. Doesn't matter what your world ranking is now. How spectacular is that?
Great experience for young Cameron Smith and Ashley Hall to be in a playoff with, well, he's world number 5 at the moment, but he was world number 1 for more than a year. 2-time major winner.
And I'm sure that there are those people who are not golf aficionados, Finchy, who may not know the name Cameron Smith. I'll tell you about him more in a moment. They're even receiving a welcome as they come down to second shots, and well they might at this great stage.
Who will be first to play, Grant Dodd?
Yeah, look, it's just an electric atmosphere down here, and quite festive as well. I think a few of the patrons have been here for quite a while this afternoon, and they've been enjoying themselves. But the first to play will be Jordan Spieth, of course, and he has got 139 metres to the pin. And interesting, and of course unsurprising, that you wonder if it was his strategy to be able to have the first shot in. And he will have a little bit further to go than the other two guys. 128 for Ash Hall, 124 for Cameron Smith.
North early, but yeah, I'd say if anything, touch preferred. What's the coverage? 50, yeah.
You like this?
I do.
It's a good club, isn't
Yeah, good solid one. You got plenty behind it. 67 behind it, so you can swing at it.
That's yards, of course. 167 yards to the
it?
back
Straight
edge.
sideways, I gotta have a little hole sitting around.
All right.
You like that?
Yeah.
Everything's positive in the build-up between player and caddy. Now, pull the trigger and execute.
It's a really good-looking shot here from Jordan Spieth, if it's enough.
And it stays there. Over to you, Ash. Over to you, Cam.
It's a good shot, but it still left the door open for these other two players to jam one right in there close. Only going in with a short iron, wedge, or maybe little 9-iron.
Put it closer, Ashley. Put it closer.
Someone will make 3.
Yes, from this distance with a slight right to left breeze.
It's a bit right.
He's been swinging well too, Ashley Hall.
He's been 10 years as a pro, but he's never had a moment like this.
It's a beauty.
How's that for nerves of steel under the most intense pressure?
This is certainly a moment to remember when you look up at that iconic view of the clubhouse and all those people surrounding the final hole.
Straight out the right, touch it off.
Stay still, please.
Cameron Smith's ball just kissed the trees on the way down. Was that going to be the break he was after?
Just catching that steep bank with a lot of spin on a wedge.
Could have been just in between yardage there with that particular club. It's always better to be hitting full shot than trying to ease off one.
I thought too there was a hint of breeze back at the players too, which would have accentuated that spin.
But did you hear, as Caddy said, off the right with maybe a touch of help too, so.
Well, now Cameron Smith has to make sure he gets that up close so he can two-putt easily and hope the other two miss.
It doesn't look great for him on face value, but it's not over yet.
I was in a playoff once where I hit it in close. The guy I was with was 60 feet away. He holed his and I missed mine, ended up losing. I was sort of writing my speech as I was walking up there.
You always expect the other player to do something. That's the mindset you've got to have.
He's already experienced a big moment in his career at a major championship when he finished tied 4th at Chambers Bay, behind, ironically, Jordan Spieth in the 2015 US Open Championship. Cameron Smith, so he knows about the pressure of big championships, but one of the men he's playing against knows how to win them. Ash Hall is a stranger to pressure like this. Having said that, how well has he handled it so far? He's got the shortest of the birdie putts coming.
He looks like he's in a Sunday afternoon game at the club with his mates.
Yeah.
Big Ash.
Talking about his beloved Collingwood Football Club, who he supports in the AFL here.
Former Australian amateur champion. Be nice to add Australian Open champion to that title.
This for an unlikely birdie to put the pressure on the other two, make the hole a bit smaller.
Good putt.
Well, just mark it and now hope that you have to actually make it.
If you could get in, would you hold it? Would you try and putt if you could get in? I know he can't because he's in their line.
Oh yeah, if it was, oh not from that distance. No.
Only if it was a gimme.
Yeah.
Jordan Spieth has the longer of the two remaining birdie putts, so he'll be first to go. He and Mike Grella stalk every contour of this famous green.
This is where that body of work, if you will, aids your mind. The amount of times he's holed putts like this for big championships. He's done it so many times. It's not as gut-wrenching perhaps as it may be for Ashley Hall. Just that added little bit of, hey, I've done this 100 times before attitude.
And that's exactly what you foreshadowed might happen at the start of our coverage today.
Would you expect anything else?
Of course not.
He's a champion. He's proven it again.
He might be the champion in a few seconds' time. Over to you, Ash Hall.
Come on, Ash, take it to him. Well, last four putts. 16, 17, 18, and now in the playoff.
What was that at 16? 40 feet?
Yeah.
And then
Up
10
at
feet
10.
for par at 17.
Yeah, 8 to 10.
And another 6, 7 feet at the last.
Yeah.
And then that one had to be at least 12.
Well, Ash made a good birdie putt here in regulation from the opposite side of the hole. So this is not that difficult a putt, just outside the right.
Life-changing putt, really.
So the situation is this: Cameron Smith is eliminated. Ash Hall has this putt to continue the playoff. Otherwise, Jordan Spieth is the champion. And so the star from the United States backs up his victory of 2 years ago. But it was a whole lot more dramatic than that runaway win. Jordan Spieth is the Australian Open champion for the second time. What a day at Royal Sydney. Paddy Welsh.
Crazy day, huh?
It was a crazy day. It was a fantastic day for you too. You told me the other day you came here a little rusty. You've had holidays. What a way to come back from holidays.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, actually put in a lot of good work on my swing in the last few weeks and felt that it was more compact and trustworthy here than it's been the whole year. Just putted and chipped poorly the first 2 days, and then it kind of flipped around on the back nine today, and my putting and chipping saved me as it has done a few times before. So really, really nice to see two fantastic shots into the last and make that putt in the middle. Gives me a huge boost of confidence going forward to hit those shots under pressure. When kind of going back a little ways, I've kind of struggled to get it in closing. So I felt like we really closed well on this last hole. I'm going to take that going forward.
3 times you've been down here. Now you've won it twice and finished second. This is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I love it here. We love coming back here. Changing golf course, very different golf course, but we embraced the challenge. We got in kind of early. We're out at the course here Sunday before, a week ago. Really trying to learn what we can about a new place, and had a great time in the process as well. Got to see a lot of Sydney that I haven't seen in the last 2 years, and did the bridge climb yesterday. That was beautiful. and the people here. I mean, it's hard to beat the Aussies. They're one of a kind. They're a lot of fun.
You're going to be very proud. I mean, you were in a few holes there today, and you just kept digging yourself out. You refused to hoist that white flag, don't you?
Yeah, I got frustrated. A couple tough breaks there on 7 and 8, where I really thought I should have played them 1 under par, and I played them 1 over and went to 3 or 4 back. Michael did a great job keeping me grounded. Said, you've done awesome this weekend thus far at bringing yourself back from, from miscues. And, we just got in the right frame of mind from there on in and made the big putt at 16 that got us to that 12 under mark, and then, got it done at the end.
Go on. Phenomenal effort.
Thanks a lot.
Again.
Really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Simply magnificent. He's a great champion, and now he's a dual Australian Open champion.
And he's a humble champion too.
He
the
is.
way he handles himself, he is so happy to be here. And his girlfriend there with him, and friends. Jay Danzy, his manager, loves coming back to Australia. His coach Cameron McCormick is Australian, loves bringing him home.
And his girlfriend is down here with him for the first time. His 3rd visit to Australia. He's already told us how much he loves the place, and we love having him here. And he stood up when it was most required, when the pressure was on. What did you expect from Jordan Spieth? Exactly this. To put the pressure on his last remaining rival, Ash Hall. And we spare a thought for the 2 Aussies, Cameron Smith and Ash Hall, who fought so bravely. But in the end, Jordan Spieth becomes the Emirates Australian Open champion for the 2nd time. What a finish it's been at Royal Sydney. The presentation is next.